All right. We are live. We're here. First order of business. Let's, make sure the hair is fluffed appropriately. And it is. I feel like one side is a little more weird. It's this side. It's this side that's a little weird. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. You know? Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the Creator Accelerator. I see we have some folks in the room. Please don't be a stranger. Go ahead and comment and say something. If you're here to let me know that you're with me, I feed off of your energy. You bring some good energy. We'll have a good experience together. So get comfortable. I hope you have like your favorite beverage, your notebook, or, whatever notes app or some way to retain what we're going to learn and what we're going to do today. For me, I have something in the mystery mug here. What could it be? I'm not going to say anything. You can see that it's cold, though. It's cold. That's the only thing you know, that it's in a mystery mug and it's cold. But that is my beverage of choice that's in the mug. And I'm sitting here in my comfortable space in my living room. That is my studio, content studio, place to work, place to reflect, so many things. Isn't it great that we can have things exactly the way we want them nowadays? We're so super blessed to be together. Whew. I'm going to go ahead and just take a deep breath here. It's so much that we put into the things that we love. Grand Rising, Kimberly Winkfield, happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. And I know it's Memorial Day weekend. The actual holiday is on Monday, but I know this might be chill time or family time. So if you're here watching, listen, gratitude, honey, gratitude. And if you're watching the replay, hey, boo, you're not late. You're right on time. All right. So, the big idea today is that you are not here for more information. You are here for activation and accelerator. Except I said that wrong. You're here for activation and acceleration. That's why I called it Creator Accelerator. Whew, I got that out. Words can be so powerful and so magical. So let's just get acquainted a little bit. Sometimes the thing that comes naturally to you is the thing that you undervalue the most. Hallelujah. Type a one at any time if any of this resonates. Because I really want you to just kind of sit back and receive today. If you're going, yep, Nikki, yep. Just type a one and I'll know that you're feeling it. The thing that comes naturally to you is the thing that you undervalue the most. I'm going to do a radio segue here and tell you a bit of my story. So if we have not met yet, my name is Nikki Thomas. I am a 20-year radio personality here in the Bay Area. I'm sitting here in beautiful Oakland, California right now. You are probably watching on my YouTube channel called Nikki Thomas TV. I have a signature show called Liberation Lounge. It's exactly what it says it is. So from this same space that I'm sitting in, I have co-hosted and co-created something called the Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. And I mentioned that because the things that I use to create and execute that thing are the tools and the mindset shifts that I'm going to teach today. Okay? It's not all that hard to do. And also, I'm going to throw in here my age, because it's important. I'm 56 years old. And I'm not saying that so you can say, oh, girl, black don't crack. You look good for your age. I'm saying it because I'm talking to the women who are over 40, over 45, over 50, 60, 70. And you want to create something, but the digital landscape nowadays is so scary. It's scary and crazy. I feel like there's a lot of fear around the tools and the thinking that can make us powerful. All right. So my pivot story here is the pandemic. It changed us all. in so many ways. But for me, it pushed me out of this little comfort zone, because radio is cute and it's sparkling and it's so connected and it's so exciting. Um, but I was being undervalued. Thank you for being patient with me. Sometimes the words and the emotions kind of come out there. The pandemic, folks are not in their cars in the morning and in the afternoon like they usually are. We had to go digital very quickly because that's what our advertisers wanted. People were locked in, they're on the internet all day. So we had to turn into a digital space and not a radio space. And when they wanted these things, just like I'm doing with you right now, live streams, information sessions, meditation sessions, to keep people calm while they were in their houses locked down. Um, Nikki, do you know how to do this? Oh, yes, baby, I do. And when I said, yes, I do, that changed me and changed everything else. So nowadays, I am a creative consultant. I do a whole lot of different things, and I'm redefining myself. I know it's important for me to say that because if we're at this big age, this grown age, over 40, 50, 60, 70, there's some reinvention happening. We're empty nesters now. We've got to come back to who we are because we done forgot. We forget who we are in this whole thing. All right. So, creative consultant, I work with organizations locally like the Afro Solo Theater Company. If you saw my theater show that I did, a couple weekends ago, um, I did that as a creative outlet, but I also work with Afro Solo, designing their social media content, designing, content for their YouTube channel. SF Recovery Theater. I've been created entire campaigns for the Alameda County Health on my phone. So these are high value things that we can translate into revenue for you. Creator Accelerator. Hopefully, or my intention at least, is for this session today to speed up and amplify what you think about yourself and your skills. Darnaro's in the building. Darnaro's in the building. Hey boo, how you doing? It's so wonderful to have you here. All right. So let me just get everything together here because what's about to happen, I have a design and some things that I want to share with you that will accelerate and amplify you as a creator, as a Gen X woman or man and beyond. The things that you have in your spirit that you want to build, we've got to translate that into something. But first, we got to activate our creatorship. All right. Because what happens is that for us grown folks, sometimes that undervaluing can be baked in how we were raised. Let's take a deep breath right here. I got to relax my shoulders. Sometimes it feels like we are not prepared for this digital space. We're not prepared to show up. We're not prepared to be the face or the voice of our businesses. Sometimes it creeps in there. And I'm revealing a lot about myself because that was the issue for me. Still is the issue. I just work through it every day. Right? So it's an amazing process. And again, I've packaged it up today and I just want to share. So let me get my slides together here. Hold on, that's not the right one. It's the right slide, but we got to have everything just so. Am I centered here? Everybody can see me and hear me, right? All right. So we're going to activate you. We're going to activate your ideas. We're going to give it all a framework today. All right. So let's go ahead. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to go ahead and get this started? Just drop a 1 if you're ready. Because I don't know. The energy to receive is the powerful thing. Thank you, Kimberly. She said you're heard and seen. Thank you for letting me know. Sometimes, how you just be talking and it's like somebody's like, your mic is off. It's like, Boo Boo Kitty, how long has my mic been off? Come on. All right. Kimberly's ready. Darnaro is ready. So let's just go ahead and jump in here. All right. So I just kind of gave you my whole story. I'm Nikki, media personality, storyteller, facilitator, speaker. Why? Because I said I was all those things. It's just that simple. 20 years in the media. And I've spent a long time helping people communicate, connect, and show up powerfully. You cannot reinvent yourself in isolation. That's why I started talking about the pandemic. Pandemic has us thinking that isolation is normal, and it's not. It's not. All right. So, have you ever had a big idea? And is that big idea resting in your spirit right now? Just type a one if it resonates. You ain't got to type whole sentences in here. Just type a one and I'll know what you mean. Have you ever had a big idea? I don't know if you can see the slide there. Have you ever Googled how to create content, how to build a brand at my big grown age? You know, sometimes we feel like our big grown age is something, it's a setback. It's a disadvantage because you might have this big idea and then you immediately start shrinking. This is what I'm talking about when I say the baked in ideas of our generation. Who do you think you are? Okay? Who am I to do this? This is for the young people. It's too late for me to start doing all this stuff. It's too many things to learn. I'm too far behind. Jace is here. Jace is here. You know, I'm too far behind. I can't do all of these things. It's too many. Child, what is this? I'm not a tech person. I'm not a social media person. You got the big idea and then you shrink it back down. You shrink it back down. So that's a question I need y'all to, have you ever had a big idea and then you immediately shrink? Let's take a deep breath together because it's a whole mechanism with us folks of a certain age. It's almost like our analog brains don't fit into the digital age. It doesn't feel possible. That's how we know we're getting older. These things that we see the young people doing so easily, they don't feel possible all the time. All right. I'm going to take another deep breath here. So the thing is, most folks are not lacking in ideas. They are overthinking execution. Overthinking execution. Let me let me turn my phone off. Hey, Toy. Toy is texting me now. Okay. Yeah, I think the comments don't come through for everything here in StreamYard, but it's okay. I'm glad you're here. All right. We're overthinking the execution of the thing because again, they feel like blocks and impossible things. It's like, what's the saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, baby. Yes, you can. Because we're in the digital age, we're in a creator economy. Yes, you can. That's why I'm here. That's why I create things called the Creator Accelerator. Yes, you can. Maybe I missed my moment. Nope, that's not true. You got a podcast idea. You want to start speaking. You want to write a book. You got a business idea and you know that you need to get out here on social media to support your business idea. Okay, I did some heavy research with some folks who were struggling with some things that are very simple to execute. You're overthinking the execution. You're overthinking the execution. All right. However, what I'm here to tell you today, and I want you to receive right now, your age is your advantage. You are not behind. You're just built different, boo-boo. You're just built different. Gen X is what? 1965 to 1980. That's the Gen X generation. So if you're anywhere near that, before or after, we're in this whole radius where we feel behind because the world moves so fast. You're just built different. We just have to update the analog brain. That's it. But why is your age an advantage? Because we have these skills that a lot of the young people are building now. We have it naturally. We're great storytellers. And to be honest, how many of our great grandmothers and grandmothers and uncles and aunts and cousins were great storytellers off the bat? It's a gift that we have as a culture. Communication, relationship building, reading the room, discernment, knowing when somebody else's energy is off, trust, consistency, wisdom. Is that you? You already know you have those things. You have gifts, honey, that people would pay money to have or to learn. Let's breathe and receive. Let's breathe and receive. Sometimes the idea is translating those things or assigning value to them, but your age is an advantage. You are not too old. Okay. You did not miss nothing, right? You didn't miss a thing. All right. So let's go ahead and activate this energy that we have. So we've been talking, I've been here, what is it, 17, 18 minutes here. You know, you might have walked in the door with one mindset about yourself, but we're going to shift and activate. So let's just roll the shoulders out a bit. Let's flex a little bit, shake all this old energy off, and get ready to receive some new energy. Okay. So before we start talking about strategy and tools and things like that, we have to reclaim our identity. Hold on a second. We've got to reclaim our identity because the way we see ourselves is the big block. Whoo, give me 1 second. The way we see ourselves is the big block. All right. So we're going to activate our creator mindset. That's the first thing. You're already a creator. You're already a creator. If you have a message to share, a product to sell, a service to offer, expertise that helps people, favorite products that you love, or if you're just starting from absolute zero and you're here with me inside the Creator Accelerator, you are a creator. And how do I know that? This is not anything technical. You are made in the image of the Creator. Sometimes folks need Bible verses before they know something is a truth. That's what you're here. You're here to create something. A creator is simply someone who takes an idea, a skill, a talent, a message, or opportunity and puts it into motion. If we're friends on Instagram, you might have seen something I posted yesterday. I'm walking along. It was a beautiful day yesterday, so I decided to walk. And I ran into this sister she was selling desserts. And she was just walking along with the, little ice chest. And she said, "Hey, sister, how you doing? Let me tell you." And she was, she had such great energy. And I just got it on video because this is creator energy. And at that moment, I said, let me just show folks before I even tell them. This is creator energy. She had a product. She had wonderful energy. She had a beautiful smile. And she had confidence about what she was doing. Okay. So if you're any of the things, if you're a travel agent, insurance agent, you're a consultant, a speaker, a service provider, a coach, an entrepreneur of any kind, or a woman building her next chapter, Boo Boo Kitty, this is all it right here. You are already a creator. You're already a creator. Sometimes you talk in your head and you call yourself all kind of other stuff, but you're made in the image of creator. You might want to stop telling yourself all of this negative stuff. You're already a creator. Product, service, leadership, expertise, business, or a reinvention. Sometimes that reinvention or that spirit of reinvention is enough to create a personal brand that will get you paid, get you seen, and get you rewired. Okay? Whew. We're going to talk about this later, but there are certain things that I plan, and then there are certain things that come through when I'm actually live with you and they just kind of come out. How's everybody feeling? Drop one word in the comments about how you're feeling right now. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and activate, because these are all great things. These are great words to hear. But the truth is, we have to feel this in our bodies because, again, we talk to ourselves in a certain way. We tense up and we get ready for battle every day to repeat the steps that we've been doing for years or decades. So this is a pattern interrupt, a circuit breaker. It's body based. It's not just in your head and in your thoughts, it's in your body. So I'm gonna go fluff my hair one more good time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm on camera, I'm looking at myself. I don't like looking crazy. Gratitude. Thank you so much, LJ Reynolds. That's Luther. So let's go ahead and relax the shoulders down. Okay. And let's go ahead and tense, lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then relax them down. And let's just do that a couple more times here. We're coming into the present moment. Let's rotate the wrists. Okay. Wherever you are, if you're seated, go ahead and plant your feet on the floor, knees about hip distance apart. And let's inhale, pushing the chest forward. Exhale, go ahead and round the spine, sink into your seat. And let's keep going like this, flexing the spine. You're only as young as your spine is flexible. And warming up the spine gets us ready to receive new information and new ideas about who we are. All right. Let's quickly, same thing, hands on top of the knees, and go ahead and move your stomach in a circle. It's my favorite. It's really my favorite to do when we're together. Something about being in community amplifies the effects of all these things for me. It doesn't feel this good when I'm by myself. It feels great when we come together like this. Opposite direction, move in a circle. And you could feel it opening up some things. You could feel your energy changing. We have to take dominion over our thoughts if we're going to create another version of ourselves. Thank you so much. All right, let's come to the neutral position here. And let's just breathe here. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Breathing and receiving this new version of ourselves right here, right now. The present moment is the most powerful creativity tool that we have if we can tap into the current moment. Spirit time is always right now. All right. Let's just shake it out. Come back to the room. And let's keep going. Everybody feeling good? All right. So let's bring our slides back here. We just did our little activation. What are you building? What are you building? That's my first question to you as we activate our creator mindset. Are you building a personal brand, speaking platform, a consulting offer, YouTube channel? Shout out to Christy Kelly. She came to the Afro Solo Theater performance the other week, and she had reached out to me and said she wanted to build a YouTube channel. And really, it's because of folks like Christy who reach out and they're like, Nikki, I'm trying to do this thing. Can you help me? This is why I do these things. I don't do these things just because I think it's cute. It's because folks ask me for help, assistance, guidance, whatever. Thank you, LJ, for saying I'm anointed to do this. That's a great way to put it. I receive it. because the pandemic, that little pivot happened. The station was like, we don't know how to do this. Do you know how to do it? Yeah, it's what I love to do. One hand tied behind my back, I can do it. So I had undervalued that thing for a long time, right? So anything that you want to build, we can create it as a valuable offering for other people. Okay. Thought leadership, a podcast, business visibility. Do y'all see in the small print down there? It says vague creators stay stuck. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So if you want to drop it in the comments, what are you building? What's the thing that you want to build or amplify or grow or start? Okay. Whatever that is, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Okay. So we're going to create something today. Even if it's just a new idea, because I know some folks are watching and doing other things, it's all fine. There will be a replay if you want to, receive or focus on it a little bit more, a little bit later. And that's absolutely wonderful. What are you building? That is the question. So the thing is, if you're afraid of the tools, if you want to also drop a comment, what's the thing that you just can't get a handle on? I talked to somebody the other day who just thought Canva was the devil. I don't like it. Canva doesn't like me. I can't get it right. Zoom was another one I heard. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. It doesn't work out for me, that Zoom. This is why I'm talking to the Gen X and older. I can't do that. The fear looks just like that. The fear looks just like that. Your fear is bigger than the tech. It's bigger than the tool. Okay? Let me tell you something. You are not the engineer. You do not have to write code, right? You're not inventing anything. You're learning what button to click. That's it. That's it. Oh, I don't see where it is. Oh my goodness. We just got to calm your nervous system. Calm your nervous system around these things because your body is telling you a lie. This is why I put, the movement and meditation into everything I do, because sometimes your body is telling you a lie about something simple. Baby, click right here. That's it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get doing it. Swipe, tap, click, type. That's all you're ever doing. Ever. Swipe, tap, click, type. That's it. You can build a whole universe for yourself. You can build a whole empire for yourself. Swipe, tap, click, type. That's it. So that's the truth. And what happens is when I open up cohorts and sessions to help my Gen X and older creators, the light bulb goes off pretty quickly. It goes from I'm scared, I don't know how to do this, to producing entire shows on these internets, like within hours or days. So it's not hard. It's not. LJ says, I want all of that. I've been a content creator for 18 years. I want to do more than post. Ooh, hallelujah. I got to put this up here. I want to do more than post. Well, you need a framework, my honey bun. That's it. Because we see the young folks doing things and we think they're only posting and they're only dancing and they're on Instagram and TikTok. No, there's a whole business for you to build off of these great ideas that you have. All right. It's a whole thing that you get to build. And I'm so glad you said, I want to do more than post. That's it. That's your breakthrough right there. All right. So let me just give you an example. If you're building something, you need a creator stack. And again, the tools are so easy. You might need 2 or 3 of them. They're free or low cost. And you're off to the races. So hopefully you can see the slide here. If you're building a YouTube channel, what would I need to build a YouTube channel? Your phone or a webcam. But your phone can work just fine. I'm using a little webcam here today. So if you've got phone or webcam, Canva, StreamYard, and ChatGPT. That's it. And I know you might be saying, but Nikki, you have a fancy microphone. I do. This was something I purchased for a separate project years and years ago. But there is a certain tool that I'm going to tell you about later. With the click of a button, you can give your audio studio sound, whether you had a microphone or not. The tools do the work for you. Okay. So if you're saying, hey, I want to speak more, LinkedIn, that's another magic tool. Canva, ChatGPT, a speaker page, booking link. You can do all that in something called Stan. I'm going to tell you more about it. If you registered for Creator Accelerator and you put your email in and it sent you an email with the link in it, Stan Store. Stan Store. So it's maybe 3 tools that you can stack together and get started. I think that sometimes some of us of a certain age, we miss that there is a framework to this. It is not a young person thing. It's a creator thing. And we've already determined that you are a creator. All right. You do not need everything. You just need the right stack for what you're building. And we're going to talk a little bit more as we go. All right. So I'm going to tell you everything I use to build Creator Accelerator, this thing that you are watching right now. Right. So Chat GPT, you already know. I know Chat GPT is so sick of me today. Because up until we hit the go live button today, I'm going back and forth. It's like, this is missing. This is missing. Put that in the script for me. Oh, no, you got to change that. That sounds stupid. You tripping. Put this back in here. I'll be talking to Chat GPT so crazy. I'm sorry, Chat GPT. I'm sorry. I'll be tripping so much. But your brainstorming, your messaging, your structure, and your refinement happen in Chat GPT. I'm not a writer. You ain't got to be. You ain't got to be. Canva. Slides, graphics, your visual brand. I love Canva. Okay. And then on top of that, Canva can do a lot of things folks don't really realize that Canva can do. Did you know that Canva has a content planner? You can post your content using Canva. It's a calendar that you create and insert your designs in there, and it connects to your social media. Remember that everything is integrated nowadays. You don't have to figure out any of the steps. There's a workflow that happens inside all of the things. Okay. Your creator stack is your ecosystem. You use these tools so people can find you. It's where your content lives, where your communication happens, where money changes hands. You don't have to put every tool in place. There's several tools inside of StreamYard and Canva and ChatGPT and the Stan Store. There's tools already inside it that's integrated. Hey, build me a funnel here so that people can put their email in here and I can send them an email automation. It's very, very simple. Very simple. Okay. So ChatGPT, Canva for my opening videos and slides, StreamYard. Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. Who remembers that? Okay. I know Luther was there and I know Darnaro was there. StreamYard and Canva. Using StreamYard right now, you might be watching me on YouTube. You might be watching me on Facebook. I'm going live simultaneously to all those places at once. And you can choose how many destinations you want to go live to. So YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I want to say TikTok is on there too. I'm not a TikTok person, but you can go live simultaneously. Think about what you can teach or do or build, knowing that you can simultaneously go live to all these places, right? StreamYard arrived during the pandemic. It was well before that, LJ, well before that. Because like I told you the story, I was ready when the pandemic happened. Nikki, can you do this? Yeah. We used to have to go live every day at the radio station. So I used to do it on my phone sometimes, but sometimes I would set up StreamYard and do whole things. And before StreamYard, it was Periscope. I think that was the name of it. So the going live thing has been around for a while. And of course, they're native to Facebook and YouTube and all these other things. Um, but the tools just get more and more powerful. They get more and more evolved. Every month there's a new, oh, look at what StreamYard does now. So inside of StreamYard, it allows you to go live or record or create webinars. And then it can create those little short viral clips for YouTube and Instagram. So there's so many things at your disposal. Now, let me tell y'all about StreamYard, and there's another platform called Riverside. Riverside is awesome, and I have both of them. Where Riverside is even better is that it gives you that studio sound to all of your audio. So if I record something and I don't have a fancy microphone, I can click one button and Riverside turns it into sound that sounds like this. Powerful. And last but not least, that Stand Store. Your registration, your conversion, you can create courses, you can create webinars, you can sell digital products. Okay. These tools are doing the work for me. All I have to do is come up with the idea. I just have to come up with the idea and then get ready to show up and be comfortable in this. All right. Does anybody have any questions? We're going to have questions at the end. You saw this before KBLX started. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But it clicked for me that these things were valuable when it was pandemic time. No one could have imagined the pandemic, that people would be locked in their houses. So meditation and movement were highly valuable to folks who were locked down and afraid to leave their houses. We couldn't leave our houses. It became valuable and I was ready because this is the thing I really love to do. There are parts of this that are a little scary to me. But other parts that are like, it's native, I'm ready. And the parts that are scary, I work it out. Sometimes ChatGPT has to be my therapist. Help me. I feel crazy. I don't know if I can do this. It's going to happen. Your emotions are going to show up in this, but you just have to keep pushing. So we've got a whole suite of things here. The exact stack that I use to build what you're watching right now, Creator Accelerator. You know, it gives you so many things. So StreamYard here, the way that the layout is set up here, I can create it the way I want it. You see how I'm in one box and then the bigger box has the slide. Most of the time you see the little tiny picture at the bottom and then there's the slide behind them. I hate that. I was like, can we make this look a little bit better? You can just pull it into place and create it just like this. So now you've got your slides, you've got yourself. It feels warm. It feels inviting. It looks better. All right. So all these things happening in StreamYard. So many wonderful things. I think the young version of myself prayed for all these tools that we use nowadays because it's like it was in my brain for a long time and then it became something in the world and it was like, oh, this is so exciting. You know, so if you're that kind of brain, you will take very kindly to all of these things. All right. So I built this with accessible tools. It was not a giant team. It's always just me. Literally, it's just me. This is why we call this a creator economy. Individuals can become creators and create things with a little help from these things. And again, they're either free or low cost. So it's all available to you. Now, let's go back to LJ. I want to do more than just post. And this is a great segue here because your content is your employee. It's not just a post, it's an asset. All right. A piece of content builds trust, answers questions, educates, creates awareness, and points people toward action. So that's a superpower right there. Content with direction becomes a strategy. So if you just get up and say, what am I going to post today? You're posting and you don't have strategy. And if you want to do more than post, you're on the right track, because we're going to take the content and turn it into something that works for you. I said, hey, I did this. It's just me, but my employees are actually the things I put out there. If you want to, if you drop in the comments, what made you join us today? Was it because you saw that I was live, or did you see any of the clips I posted last week? The things that I was talking about, it was a strategic plan. When I posted that you need a new community for every new goal, because this is the community. There was a strategy behind that, right? Content with direction becomes strategy. Don't think about it as like these kids out here on the internet posting these videos and dancing and carrying on. That's not what they're doing, boo boo kitty. That's not what they're doing. Everybody has something that they're sharing. Whew. Let's take a deep breath. It's a whole mind body thing happening over here with me. And sometimes I just have to take a deep breath. And a beverage, whatever beverage you have, let's take a sip. So every piece of content should have a job. And that job leads people back to whatever your offering is. So if you're an old school person, we used to do flyers and physical hustle. New promotion, scalable visibility. You ain't got to leave your house or your chair. You ain't got to. Okay. So you can answer questions. You can generate leads. You can start conversations. You can invite action. It has a job. It's not just cute. It's not just likes. It's a job. Now, what we're not talking about is being an influencer. We, just kind of got that out of the way first thing in the morning. You're a creator. Let's not get that confused with influencer. That's different. It's a different business model. You can do that too, and it can be effective for you. But what we're talking about is a creative professional person who has a business, or you have some kind of thought leadership or something you want to share with the world and make it work for you. All right. So a lot of folks might be saying, okay, so you're saying content, Nikki. I still don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. There is a framework for that. All right. So let's just make this really simple. There's something called content pillars, and your quick content framework is this: your expertise, your joy, and your story. That's a great place to start. I don't know what to talk about. Well, what do you do? What do you do? My name is Nikki Thomas. I'm a 20-year Bay Area radio personality. I'm a creative consultant. I'm a wellness facilitator. So if I pick wellness facilitator, that is what I do. I could talk to the camera just like I'm talking to you right now. And that's compelling. Hey, I'm Nikki. Oh, dang, that's Nikki. Hey, girl, what you up to? And I talk about what I'm doing right now. People want to hear that part. Your joy. Perhaps after I do this talking head video, if I show you me doing my morning yoga, that lights up something in your body. I'm showing you my joy. And your story. A few minutes ago when I told you that whole pivot story about being at KBLX, and I said, you know what? These skills have value. I think I want to do something with these skills as well. That's my story. Any questions? Because it's really very simple. So we can build out our content pillars around these three things: your expertise, your joy, and your story. Okay. When you have the ears and eyes of the people, it goes beyond posting. You have a connected community. Yes, you do. You got a mic at your house, LJ? Because I'm just going to let you, because you dropping gems in here. You're creating community. That's exactly what you're doing. If we have looked at this whole thing and said, hey, they're just posting. They're posting. That's just a small piece of the puzzle. It's a small piece of the puzzle. So this is a strategy. It is a framework, and it's very simple. Your content is already all around you, and your phone. I said your phone, that's your camera. And it's so many different things, right? Your phone is also your money. You better use this sucker. If you see something and it moves you some kind of way, go ahead and take some video. That could be B-roll for later. Does everybody know what B-roll is? You ever see those little videos and the person's not doing nothing, they're just sitting here, they're writing in a notebook? It's just a little clip of you doing something, or it's a clip of a scene that you saw. Take that creator activation that we just did, where we, brought our creator selves to the surface, and just always look for beauty and things that inspire you. Oh, dang, that's cute. When I saw this, it's just like, this is a great idea. These great desserts. And she had, let me get him, let me, sister, can I record? If it hits you, just record it. Content is all around you. Sometimes just put it all in your little folder. And then when you come back to the folder, let's see how we can put this in a little strategy for our content this week. All right. So your expertise, that's what you know. Your joy, what lights you up, personality, humanity, lifestyle, and your story, what you've lived through. Now, my Gen X folks, we just talked about this. Your age is an advantage. If you live through some things, honey, that's never ending content right there, don't you think? Never ending. If you make a list of the things that you've been through, that you've survived, those are transformation stories. Transformation stories. Okay. What you're learning, there's another one. If I share with you what I've learned since I left KBLX, are you going to stop scrolling? Yes. And I already know the answer to that. What I've learned. What do you think Liberation Lounge is? The things that have liberated me as a 56-year-old woman. That is compelling content because it's emotional. And a lot of folks are going through things, and you might be their only hope that day. That is of value. It is of value. People connect with real people. Do you ever notice that if you post like a flyer or something, it might not get a lot of clicks? And let's not even talk about like the little AI flyers people are using. What always converts? Your face, your smile, you in motion. And it ain't got to be cute. How many bonnets do we see? Why? Because that's a real person. Oh, I'm in my bonnet. Hey, let me see what she's doing. We get to see each other's lives. I'm on the couch in my bonnet eating snacks. It's your best friend. It's your best friend. Oh, she's in her bonnet eating. So, girl, what are you doing? Storytelling is a hot topic nowadays. It's a hot topic. Why? Because people connect with real people. I want to hear your story. I always want to hear other people's stories. It's always good. All right. So this works across all industries. How does this apply to me, Nikki? Modern creator tools help you market what you already do. What you already do. Travel advisor, insurance agent, consultant, coach, speaker, facilitator, entrepreneur, business owner. And here's just a little list here. You can create content about all of these things here in our little chart. You take a minute and just look over, you see yourself and say, oh, I could create content about this. So you have your content, give it a call to action, and every piece of content has a job. So if you're a travel advisor, and I know Toy does this. Toy is going to be our special guest. Packing. If people are traveling, a lot of folks haven't had the time to travel, and they get to our big ages and they do have the time. Well, I don't know what to pack. That's a quick solution to something in their lives. Book a consultation with me so I could, help you book your trip. Or I can let you know some destinations. So it's a very quick formula. Your content and then a call to action. So if you just post, Luther, and you don't give your content a call to action, then you're just posting. But if you post and give it a call to action, you're doing what? You're creating leads for yourself, right? You're creating leads for yourself. All right. Does everybody need a second to check out the chart here? Do you see yourself on the chart? Modern creator tools help you market what you already do. Okay. Ooh, I like that last one. Entrepreneur, founder story. Everybody's going to stop scrolling for a story. How did I build this business? What happened that made me say, you know what? This is either a need or a want. So it's very, very simple. These pieces of content, even the ones you already have out there, Luther, go ahead and just put a call to action. Click here to book a consultation with me. Click here to, buy my digital product. Schedule a policy review with me if you're an insurance agent. Click here. Right? And that click here could plug them into something like Stan Store that will take their information, take payment if need be, and connect them to your calendar. That's my favorite thing about Stan. Your pay gate, your calendar, everything is connected in one spot. All right. Everybody feeling okay? He says, I wouldn't stop following you if you stopped talking about KBLX. KBLX doesn't define who the woman is. That's so true. But it's a piece of the story that is very important. It's not something that we ever get to leave behind. That's who I am too. I did that for 20 years. It doesn't define me now, but it shaped who I am at this current moment. We can't be afraid of the parts of the story. And it was really wonderful. It was wonderful just because it changed doesn't mean it's not an important piece of what it was. So, I counted it in the good stack of things that I've experienced. All right. So we're going to come back to Toy. We have a clip of Toy that I'm going to share in a little bit. Okay. So let's amplify what we have learned. We are already creators. Do you want to create impact? Do you want to create money out of these things? That's the question. Are you willing to put in a few steps and a few strategies to turn this into a package, an offering, a business, a brand? Okay. Is that a yes? Okay. I see absolutely down in the comments. I like that. I like that. All right. Nikki, you've been doing this for what you say, 20, 30 years? This is something that you're good at. It did not start out that way. And in the 20, 30 years, there is a particular framework that I have come to. Because let me just share this with you. This is a part of the story that a lot of folks don't understand. You do something the same way for a long time, and then one day that thing becomes different. It shakes up the framework for yourself. Well, how do I do that? I've gone from mornings to afternoons to Quiet Storm on KBLX, and each time it was a different vibe. It was a different thing that I had to do. Whatever comfort zone I was in, I had to get out of it. So I've built out a framework for the confidence over the years, because sometimes you've got to do things that you're not familiar with. But if you apply these things every time, you'll be okay. All right. So again, the present moment is the most powerful creative tool that you have, right? If you just can tap in and be in the moment. Again, there's plans and slides and all these things, but I'm in the moment with you right now. I'm not saying, what else do I say? So the first thing is prepare. Prepare. All right. Preparation builds trust in yourself. If you already know the plan, if you already know the linear plan, and you work out how you want to say it, not how, but what you want to say. Okay, I got it. I have everything in place here. Everything is here. I know this one, this one, this one, this one. So that takes, a bit of time to get it the way you want it. And for me, that can be the hardest part. Like connecting what I want to say in the order I want to say it. So that's the deep down in the mud part for me. So preparation builds trust in yourself. Your past self has built out a structure for you, and your future self just has to follow it. So if you know your message, you know your call to action, you know your flow, and you prepare enough to trust yourself, and you don't over prepare so much that you kill your spontaneity. So your big one is prepare. People think that we're riffing a lot of the time on the radio. Never. Never. We've got things that we have to say. We know how we're going to open every time, and we know how we're going to close every time. That's why it's called programming. 102.9 KBLX, Soul of the Bay. That's how you open. That's how you close. Right? I'm prepared. It becomes part of my makeup because I've done it many times. Many times it's there in front of me, just like my notes are here in front of me on my iPad. It's there. 102.9 KBLX, Soul of the Bay. Hey, it's Nikki. How are you? If you get comfortable with your prepared notes and things, then the magic starts happening. All right. So prepare is number one. I find if I'm not prepared, it's all bad. And sometimes I have to riff, and it might look a certain way, but on the inside, I'm having a whole fit in my head. So activate. After you prepare, you still might be nervous after that. So the nervous energy is not a warning sign. It's something meaningful is happening, and your body is preparing to lead. Your body is coming out of that comfort zone. So that's what the nervous energy is. But don't focus on the fear. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to know what to say. You're focusing on your fear then. Focus on the fact I'm prepared, I'm ready. I might be a little bit nervous, but that's going to put me in the present moment when I get out here, either in front of folks or on the stage or wherever. Anxiety, activation, all that's interpretation. I'm activated right now. I'm excited. Mel Robbins said that one. I love it. She's like, you could tell yourself that you're nervous, but tell yourself that you're excited. That's all. That's the same thing. I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited. Nervous energy is fuel. Okay. Connect. This one is big because a lot of folks think it's like, aren't you nervous talking to thousands of people? No. Why? Because I'm not talking to thousands of people. I'm talking to you. You got that? Luther, if I look in the camera and I say, hey, Luther, I'm talking to you. One of my favorite things that kind of came out of the KBLX experience was when I was known for calling people honey bun. It just so happened that one of those times I went back home to New Orleans, and I think I was somewhere between New Orleans and Atlanta. And I drove up to the Starbucks, and I heard the person on the speaker. She's like, hey, my baby, how can I help you today? I felt special. I felt seen because I'm not an individual, just a number coming through the line here, through the drive-through. That's warm and friendly. It's a hug. Hey, baby. That's a part of my makeup as a person from the deep South. Hey, my baby. Hey, honey, how you doing? It's of the culture. Hey, family. Hey, sweetheart. I'm talking to one person. Talk to one person. You're not talking to 1,000 people. I feel, sometimes we need that external validation that people are screaming our names and things. No, 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 no. You want people to feel seen and heard. Connect with your folks. When you're creating this content, when you're speaking in front of folks, connect. The magic is in the room, not in your script. Do, 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 do. I'm giving you a second to absorb this. Do, 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 do. It's in the room. It's in the current moment. Talk to one person. This is why I'm reading the comments and things here. We're in conversation together. This is an interactive experience. Respond to the energy that's happening in the room. The best comedians, the best speakers all do this. Let the room shape the moment. Quincy Jones said it best. I was trying to like, where did I hear this? Quincy Jones. He said, leave some room for God to step in the room. Why do you think Off the Wall and Thriller was so great? I'll plan it, I'll write it, but when Michael got behind the mic, he started moving his feet and being in the moment. Did y'all see the movie? Quincy's like, keep those feet still. Michael couldn't keep his feet still. Are you crazy? The magic was happening in his body in the moment. Okay? That's rhythm. And I know Michael explained that very well. If a dancer is thinking about what the next step is, know your body's flowing into that next step or the next words or the next minute. The magic is in the room, not in your script. You're talking to one person. All right? That connection is way greater than perfection. Once you step behind the mic or once you press the go live button, get out of your head, baby. Get out of your head. All right. Last but not least, execute. Don't grip the script. You write it out and you've got bullet points so you don't forget anything important. And I will say that the script is very important. If you've seen me host an event, or if you're looking and you said, oh, I would love for Nikki to host our event, that's a requirement that there's a script there for me. Because if I am hosting or emceeing something, there's sponsors that need to be mentioned. There are things that need to be said. And that's a requirement because I've hosted many things where they didn't have anything. Well, follow the program. Mm-mm. You're not going to put pressure on yourself in the moment. You want that script to be there for you to give yourself the framework in the moment. So when you execute, when you step into action, that builds the confidence as well. When you step on stage or when you press the go live button or when you press the record button, let everything fall by the wayside. Trust the preparation, trust the steps, and just move into it. Just move into it. And last but not least, what I have written here is ugly reps count. I'm going to rephrase that real quick and say, do it trash, especially if we're talking about content on social media. Be okay with it being trash for the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. You're the only person that knows that you messed up, right? You're the only person. And what I will also say is that the tools nowadays help you with that as well. How many people have seen these things where the person is, it looks edited, where the person is like, yeah, did you hear about this? And then it's not an editing process. That's a one button click. You could record something and then click remove pauses. So that's all they are, is removing the pauses. So again, that magic that happens when you're in the moment, once you get to the process of editing things, if it needs to be edited, you can create a lot of magic then as well. So that trust that you have with yourself when you're executing live and in the moment, it could turn into something else that you did not even plan for. Oh, wow. I didn't even mean to do this, but this worked out really good. So it is a trust factor that you have in yourself. All right. So we heard Luther say that you want to do more than post. You want to, create out of these things that you have. So tell me in the comments what you're trying to build. If anybody has anything they want to share, and I will give you a few ideas and tools. We went over our chart before, but if you didn't see yourself on the chart, or if you have a question, you can go ahead and drop it in the Q&A. And if nobody has anything they want to share, we can go ahead and move on. But clarity comes through action. Clarity comes through action, not the other way around. I'm going to move on this when I'm sure about what I'm doing. No, you get sure when you start moving. That's the way it goes. So, Luther, did you have anything that you want to drop in the comments, or anybody else that's watching? Do you have anything that you want to drop in the comments? What are you trying to build? Or if you have a question, go ahead and drop it. All right. I'm going to play the Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. If it doesn't come to you now, you can always reach out, DM me and say, Nikki, you know what? Okay, this is it. Sometimes we're multitasking. You don't have it in your spirit right now. We can totally talk about it later. You know where I am, and where to find me. All right. Inspiration without implementation changes nothing. It changes nothing. And let me share a few little blips here with you. You cannot reinvent yourself in isolation. Okay? You cannot reinvent yourself in isolation. The pandemic has us telling ourselves lies. You cannot reinvent yourself in isolation. We tried, didn't we? And how do you think I know this one? I'm in a lot of isolation right now, and I have to establish a balance to be in community. Because if we're in our heads all the time, we think that is reality. I'm going to shout out Nikki Beasley right now. She had a wonderful women's gathering the other day, and I found that really amplified and showed me some things that I just did not have in my head. There was a sister, I got to shout out Keisha Browder. When I walked in, she said, girl, you got us through the pandemic. And, I'm in here creating slides and doing all the things and making sure my set is okay, because I'm down in the work. But when people give you feedback is powerful, whether it's, positive or negative feedback. She said, you got us through the pandemic. So now that we're not in the pandemic, we don't have to be in isolation anymore, do we? Being in community is number one. Community amplifies you. Okay? Everything is better in community. Everything is better in community. That person can see you bigger and greater than you can see yourself. And then also it's like, okay, well, girl, you got a hair out of place. Fix that. You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it. Somebody next to you is that person that's going to see you in this bigger way. Trust me, without community, I would not even be in the Bay. I would not even be here. Girl, there is a job in San Francisco that's perfect for you. That's how I found out about KBLX. That's why you and I are in Circle and Community together, because my community lit the pathway for me. All right. You cannot reinvent yourself in isolation. Community accelerates transformation. Accountability, feedback, blind spots, collaboration, momentum, support. All right. So I know we started out and I said, what are you building? Do you see yourself in any of these? Now, Luther, you said you want to do more than posts. You have these ideas. The creator is the person who wants to build a YouTube channel, a personal brand, podcast, or social media presence using your story, your voice, and your ideas. That's plenty. Trust me, that's plenty. You're an educator, you're a coach, a consultant, a speaker, a trainer, or a thought leader who wants to build trust, attract clients, and establish authority. These two might seem different, but it's the same. It's the same framework. You have something you want to share, something you want to build with. The entrepreneur is a person you already have a business, service, or offer, and you want content that increases visibility, leads, and revenue. The entrepreneur would be like the young lady I saw on the street the other day with her wonderful desserts. You know, she's got something and she wants people to know about it. She's got to build great energy around it. It's a lot of steps. The tools are right here for us, but there are a lot of steps that might have to happen, and you definitely need support when it comes to creating these steps. Feedback. Whew, feedback, absolutely number one. All right. So we have activated a whole lot of things today. Where is the place that we can build it? All right. This is where implementation happens. Creation Lab. Now, I've been teasing this for a little while. The Creator Accelerator, what we did today, activates you and your ideas. You know better now. You're a creator. You ain't got to be an influencer, but you are a creator made in the image of the creator. You're here to create something. We're all interconnected. Now, Creation Lab, that is where we build. So doors are open for this 30-day creative container. That's for women over 40 or creators over 40. I know Luther's in here. It's really anybody who is of a certain age and you're saying, I don't know about these tools. I don't know. I'm just doing these things. I'm posting. I'm not seeing results. You got to have a framework in place. And you could put your wonderful magic on top, your God-given magic on top. So content, creative flow, confidence on camera. We're going to do a 5-day live sprint, a 5-day live training of the tools, and then a 30-day implementation. So 30 days we're going to be together. And I'm going to do the trainings, and then we'll have time to build. Because I've been in a lot of the 5-day trainings and I love them. I'm not going to call them names. It's, some of the people I follow. And a lot of people needed more time. They needed more attention. They needed more than the 5 days. And then you need some time because life is life. And what if you can't show up on this day and you got to watch the replay and then you need some help? So this is why I built this as a 30-day container. So you can take care of the things you need to take care of and then come back. Okay, let's circle back. Learning new language is a big thing. Let's circle back. I have a question about this. I had to take care of some things, but I'm back. That's a real thing that happens. It's a real thing. Okay? So 30 days, I feel like it's a container so that we can make the thing happen. We always have well-laid plans. Okay, I'm going to do this day. I'm going to do this day. It doesn't always happen like that. And let's not beat ourselves up about it. So I felt like I wanted to make it a container and not just a training. Because number one, when we come together, it's so important for us to activate ourselves, meditate, center ourselves in our bodies. That is so, 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 so important. When I do trainings and I say, hey, what was your favorite part? People always say the movement and the meditation. I don't make time to do this, so I put it inside the container. It's not just an extra thing. It's a required thing. You're moving into another version of yourself. That is one of the tools. All right. So when I ask you what you're building, this is where we build it. This is where we build it. So we create, we test, we revise, we ask questions, we get feedback, and we build confidence. So let me just talk a little bit again about, I follow a lot of other creators. I take part in many webinars. I pay hundreds and thousands of dollars. Do you understand? And I've come to this conclusion that I don't feel right about a certain amount of money charged to the consumer that says, hey, I want to build something, but I'm still confused. Now, when it comes to big organizations and corporations, yep, I charge those folks a good, healthy amount for me to show up and do these things. But for my community, that's different. All right. Empty nesters. I just said, hey, we're Gen X and beyond. We're empty nesters, or we got kids in college. There's places that this money needs to go. And we definitely want to invest in ourselves and these things that we're doing. We want to have a new community around us when we're doing these things. So I'm saying all that to say that I create these things with affordability in mind, straight up, because I like to invest and pay and do these things. When you pay attention. When you pay, it creates value. It's value. Controlling our thoughts. Okay. Okay. It's the truth. So anyway, so it is a community. It's an intentional community. It's an affordable community, but it is an investment, a small investment. It's a doable investment. All right. So here's what we're going to do. So the price, that first thing with the line crossed out, that's what it's going to be for everybody else once I launch it next week. The other price here, that was the founding member price. But if you want to take part in Creation Lab, the 30-day container, and you say, hey, Nikki, I want to do this. I know I want to do it today. It's only $247, and there's a payment plan. This is less than a Fashion Nova haul. Okay? How many times have you been on Amazon or Fashion Nova this week? I'm not going to say my number because it's embarrassing. You know, you just do the things and we just whatever. Oh, it's just going to be this. I put it on Afterpay. I can put it on Klarna. You can put this on Afterpay and Klarna as well. Right? So inside, we're going to have the 5-day live training. We're going to have a weekly reset, meditation and movement, live office hours, and hot seats where we actually build. You can get feedback. You can get your questions answered. And community support. So community support is so important because those are your amplifiers and people that's going to tell you the truth. Your family and your friends love you, but they don't always know how to support what you're doing. Woo. If you have a community of people who are just like you, they've got things that they're building, that is a focus group of folks. A focus group of folks. Okay? So you're in an environment that will shape what you're doing. So then once we create these live spaces, everything's going to be recorded. You got lifetime access to the vault. Templates, prompts, resources, replays. So all the things you need to build the thing that you say you want is inside Creation Lab. And that is our little price for 30 days. I have never participated in anything for 30 days for that price. It's always, if you add a 0 on the back, usually 30-day containers, you got to pay that. And all the big time creators, I've taken all of the courses. Trust me, all of them. All of them. It's probably tens of thousands of dollars that I've spent just to be in somebody's class, whatever. And it's like, I just funnel it down into simple ideas that we can execute with these simple tools. So you get the training, you get the support, you get the creator activation, meditations and movements and things that really move us into these new places, spiritually, mentally, psychologically. And it all happens inside the Creation Lab. I got Liberation Journal there too. So you get all these things inside the package. You know, this journal here where you sit down and write your thoughts every day, that is part of the creator process. Okay. Community can change. It can change us. I think that's what you try to say, Luther. Community can change us, and it's wonderful. All right. So Memorial Day weekend, I'm so happy that we spent the time together today. There is a link straight to Creation Lab for you to sign up. That price is going to be good this weekend. Click the link that you see in the post. If you don't see the link, hold on a second. If you don't see the link, let me just create another link here. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comments. So you can go ahead and click the link and sign up. So again, if you wait until next week, the price is going to go up. This is for my community at this price. The folks who said, Nikki, I'm going to, stop scrolling and see what you got to say, or I'm going to register. It's for you. This is the price for you. That first one is the price for everybody else. If we're here face to face and you stayed till the end, I appreciate you. Shout out to Toy Girl. I had a technical difficulty here and the video was not loading like right before we went live. So we have your video here, and we're gonna put this on the YouTube channel um this weekend as well. All right. So founders pricing, fast action pricing, you really decide which one you want. If you jump on now, the one in the bright yellow, that's the one you're going to get. Memorial Day weekend is here. I would love to have you inside the creation lab. If you lock in before we end the session, um, or before we end the weekend, let's put it that way. That's the price. That's the price. Thank you so much, Luther. I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. That was our moment, Luther. Thank you so much for joining me for the Creator Accelerator today. I would love to have you in Creation Lab if you are building something. Community, ritual, activation, frameworks, and your tools and training. They all happen inside the Creation Lab. Let's just take a deep breath together. This thing that we're building, it's our new selves. This thing that we're activating, it's the higher version of ourselves, the assignment that we have received. Our creativity is our greatest gift. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a big hug. I'm going to go ahead and take this off the screen now so we can give ourselves a big hug. Grab the shoulder blades if you can. And let's just breathe here for a moment, understanding how powerful we are, made in the image of the Creator. And if we amplify and accelerate that creatorship and that creativity, what can we build for ourselves? Let's just breathe here. And let's go ahead and uncross the arms, send the energy out. Thank you for being in the space with me, a creative and spiritual container inside the Memorial Day weekend. Have a wonderful Memorial Day holiday. And I'll see you inside the Creation Lab. Have a wonderful rest of your day, family.